It's the Slam Dunk.
Okay, so can we just call it what it is? It's madness, isn't it? Reckless sabotage. No wonder the government has reacted so strongly to this. The Greens' newly announced mining policy isn't just ambitious, it's goddamn reckless. And by God, it sends a chilling message to anyone thinking of investing real capital in this country. This isn't environmental idealism, this is economic self-sabotage. And the Greens know that too. The Green Party has made a bombshell pledge. If they ever find themselves back in government, they intend to revoke any fast-track consents or permits issued for coal, hard rock gold and seabed mining. So they will stop them. Even if they've been issued, they will pull them. These aren't vague threats. They specifically name 7 projects that would be struck down even if their permits were already granted. They would pull them. Now, when Jacinda Ardern swung the axe on oil and gas, even her government, through these issued permits, left them alone. This goes a lot further. So Jacinda said, no, you can carry on if you've got the permits, but here they'd pull them. So let that sink in. The Greens are saying your fast-track consents are not safe. They're not secure. That's what Green co-leader Marama Davidson said in her media release. And Labor today has been a wishy-washy and taken no position. So to be clear, it's a dagger to the heart of investor confidence. It says, don't bother investing here because we will pull the rug. It is madness. Where are the jobs otherwise, Chloe? Now, Sawbrook says, don't worry, they have a policy written on paper for jobs.
The Greens are the only political party that at present has put a fully costed evidence-based plan on the table to actually create 40,000 good green jobs and to revitalise our regions. I'd invite everybody to just Google the Green Industrial Strategy alongside our green budget, where we've shown how we can pay for these things if we are to fairly tax the wealthiest people in this country.
Great. Mass transformation, just like that. If it was that easy, it would happen all the time, wouldn't it? And it doesn't work like that, does it? So it doesn't matter how promising a project is or how much capital's already gone into it or how many jobs it promises to create. If a future government can just rip up permits because their ideology demands it, why on earth would anyone bother investing billions of dollars here in New Zealand? What it means is when there is no certainty, there's little trust and investors simply walk away. That's what's happened here in New Zealand already. And tens of thousands of Kiwis have headed to Australia to work in the mines. Foreign investors look for stability and predictability, the rule of law. They want assurances when I jump through your consenting hoops, when I play by your fast-track system that you promised me, that investment stays secure. And the Greens are saying, sorry, it's not secure. And here's the kicker. The Greens are promising retrospective laws. Not just a no more new permits stand, but an active tearing up of what's legally been granted here.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. These consents have not yet been granted, and what we're saying is that were they to be granted through this illegitimate process that this government has set up, then we would revoke.
Shane Jones is our Resources Minister and is the man trying to get mining underway again here in New Zealand. He will join me shortly. He's called the Greens Plan a constitutional outrage and warned that it would gut the Otago economy, the Otago region, and he'll join me, as I say, very shortly. And investors aren't the only ones waking up to that risk. The New Zealand Minerals Council described the Greens pledge as a threat to jobs, as a threat to the economy and a threat to investment because, for better or worse, big-scale mining is one of the few economic drivers on the scale. Pulling the rug out risks not just losing resource revenue but undermining trust in the New Zealand economy full stop. We'll talk about that shortly with Shane, but here's our growing problem. Policy in New Zealand has become a political ping-pong. One government encourages fast-track mining, another wants miners on notice. Foreign backers don't know whether to build or to flee. Long-term projects, especially in mining, energy and infrastructure, they don't work on short-term election cycles. These things take 10, 20, 30 years, not 3-year cycles. This is where we're wrong. The Greens are basically saying, we'll revoke it if we don't like it. That's outrageous and a dangerous precedent. It undercuts the rule of law. It undercuts the rule of contract law. It disincentivises long-term investment and tells global markets that New Zealand is now a risk. If you come and bet here, you might lose everything. It's a gamble. Unless you back the right government, you see. New Zealand has just become a political minefield. And foreign investors don't want to play in that space at all. And Kiwi workers who are struggling now more than ever just to get a job head to the airport and take their work in the Australian mines. So we're still mining just over there. The lack of consensus on these big projects, I reckon, is now killing and certainly hurting the New Zealand economy. It's forcing Kiwis of all ages to desert their own country. It's not just economic sabotage. It's now ripping families apart and forcing them to flee this country to keep their heads above water. Let me finish with this. You could spend years and years applying for a consent. You could pour millions of dollars into a project, follow every rule, tick every box, and the Greens want the power to walk in and rip it up and take it away from you. And this is the message we send to foreign investors. Really? Welcome to New Zealand, where your permits are only valid until the next political mood swing. It's amateur hour. It's economic vandalism. It's posturing. It's theatre. And it's damaging. And here's how damaging it is. And the Greens know this, right? Now the centre-left on the current polls might well be able to form a government. This is how damaging it is because investors know that they could be in government shortly. And they could do this damage really. So it frightens off the impending investment without even getting into government. That's what the Greens' power is right now. They can frighten these people off without even being in power. What they say now might be enough to send these investors packing. We're fast becoming a banana republic, aren't we? And Chloe Swarbrick sits there and talks about 40,000 green jobs on paper. Who feels reassured by that? The last time she spoke about her economic plan, Jack Tame ate her for lunch, and he wasn't even trying. She knew little, she understood less, and called for more time so she could go and work out the answers that he was looking for. It's called a joke. That's the word that comes to mind here. The Greens know exactly what they're doing here. It's economic sabotage. It's terrible for investment, disastrous for our credibility, and if this is the future, well, good luck to anyone trying to build anything more complicated than a bloody sandcastle.
Editor-in-Chief with Duncan Garner.